did they expect that you would go on this family vacation?
Yeah.
After they invited your ex-boyfriend along?
Yeah, I mean, I put up a fight.
And did you go?
Well, we haven't gone yet.
Are you going?
It depends on where you're going.
Where are you going?
We're going to go to another state.
Another state? Which state?
Massachusetts.
Sounds boring. Don't go. Sounds really boring.
Give up that trip.
Yeah. Now, if you said they were going to go over to Europe for a month.
Right. Massachusetts.
And I mean, I'm like scared. I just don't know what to do.
Well, first of all, you have to clue your parents in here that this is very inappropriate behavior on their part. If they want to go out with your boyfriend, fine, but that they are not to be leading your life.
Right.
And then you need to tell your parents, look, you see one side of him, but let me tell you, this is why I do not like him. He's tried to run me over. Do you get it?
Right.
Have you told them?
No.
Why not?
Because they wouldn't believe.
Well,
they don't listen to me.
You don't know if they wouldn't believe.
They never listen to me. I mean, I've tried telling them so much stuff about him, and they're just like, no, that's not him. That's not him. Like, they just don't listen. They think he's a pure angel.
They must really love this guy. I don't understand this.
Where are parents who are like this, who don't believe their kids? It's like
And you broke up. It's like taking the ex-husband of your daughter along with you on a vacation or
Who's
something.
a rat, though?
Yeah.
I mean, it's one thing if he's a sweet guy, but even so, it's inappropriate.
I mean, like, I'd go out with my boyfriend, the one that I'm seeing now, and, like, my ex-boyfriend would go over and talk to my parents and trying, like, to get me in trouble.
Well, he's
They're all in cahoots on this, it sounds like.
Yeah, right. He's trying to get you back through them.
Yeah.
He's happy.
And they're
But what
enabling
are your
them.
Yeah, but they're doing something weird. Your parents need some therapy here, really. I swear.
Can you have them call Marissa?
Yeah, I think so. We want to talk to your parents because they are really acting out some very heavy-duty psychodynamics here that come from their own childhood of trying to maneuver your life and pick who's right for you and blind denial of who he is. All right, that's that thing for your parents. But meanwhile, if they don't believe you, then you have to ignore them and don't go wherever. Don't go on vacation with them. They say, okay, you want to take him? You got your son, quasi, take him. He's yours. Now, what about the fact that he is doing something? I think if you really feel frightened, I'm going to say something very strong about this, Marissa, for you saying, I have a very tiny problem. You have turned out to be having a very huge problem.
You know, it's just been bothering me for so long that I had to talk to somebody.
It's a big problem and a very serious one. You have a guy who is basically dangerous because he's been rejected. Those are horrifying characters. They can be led to violence. If he does one slightest thing, like try to run you over, you go to the police department and you file a complaint. And then you get an order of protection.
Right.
And that's what you must do. All right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You sound so passé about this, Marissa.
I'm scared. What would happen, like, if he found out that I tried to do this? You know, he might try to, like drown me or kill me or something.
Oh, yes, he might, but he might anyway. So let him at least know that you're trying to protect yourself.
Right.
You're not going to be a victim of his.
Get it?
Yeah, I understand.
All right.
All right, Marissa.
All right.
Tell your parents to have a lovely vacation. Thank you very much. Yeah, how dare they? How could you go with them? There's no way. Oh, Marissa, what are you going to do?
Parents sometimes get so invested in the life they want for their kids that they're blinded by it.
I'll go to extremes. Brenda.
Hi.
Are your parents like that?
Brenda?
Brenda?
Yes.
Is this Brenda?
Yeah, this is Brenda.
Do you know who you are? I was just asking if you have parents like Marissa.
No, I don't.
Thank goodness. What's up, Brenda?
Well, it's my boyfriend. He just can't get hard up, you know?
Hard up or hard?
Hard, every time we have sex.
You got it hard up.
Then, yeah, right.
Oh, come on, guys. Bear with me.
Well, it's true.
Bear with me.
All right, we're bearing with you. So he never gets hard anymore?
He can't get it up when he has sex.
Uh-huh.
Why's that?
I don't know. It's just like we try, and he's with me now, and he wanted to talk to you, Dr. Judy, about it, too.
All right.
And it's like we try everything. And
Dr. Judy will get him hard.
You want to talk to him?
I don't mean that way. I mean just psychologically thing. Yeah, Brenda.
Yeah, here he is.
Slide out of that one.
Yeah, who's this?
This is Al.
Hello, Al.
Hi, how you doing?
So, Al,
Yeah.
what's the problem?
I don't know. Well, my first question is, as far as our relationship goes, the one thing that first bothered me about the relationship, not that I don't love Brenda, but, she's younger than me. She's about 7 years younger than me. She's 24 and I'm 32.
All right.
Okay, and... I felt I had to get permission from, I'm old enough, but I felt I had to ask my family before I went out with the girl. And they're like saying, well, what are you going to go out with? Someone old enough to be your mother? Why in the first place should I have to ask my family?
But you had a complex about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why should you have to ask your parents? You're the one who came up with that idea, didn't you?
Excuse me?
Was it your idea?
I don't know. I just felt that I had to, that I felt uncomfortable going out with. I guess maybe it was somebody that's young enough to be like, my sister, because my sisters are younger than me.
Okay, so you needed your parents to say, Al, we don't think any less of you. This is not incest.
Right.
Okay, so Al, it's not incest. It's Brenda. It's not your sister. Thank God. Now you may have some emotional connections to it. If you ask the question, Al, you have the feeling. So there's some little strains of feeling in there. You wanted somebody to reassure you because you really have this sense that maybe Brenda's like your little sister.
Yeah, but I feel that, I should be making the decisions. I'm old enough. Why have to go to my family and ask,
Because you wanted to be absolved of guilt about
it. What I did, I went to...
Go to church.
Absolution, right. Okay, well, my other question is about because Brenda was saying about me having a hard time getting it up, there's times when I do, get hard, but that's like before any, say we're driving in the car or something, and then I get that feeling. But once we're in the middle of having sex or something like that, that's when I just have a tough time.
Because you're having sex with your sister.
Is this Tom from earlier? That was a
no.
Okay.
Right, that's right.
Never mind.
No.
Do you understand? Psychologically, that is your unconscious fear. And that is why you lose your erection in the middle of the event.
Even though that's not what I'm thinking.
Exactly.
That doesn't come to
No, it does not come. I said unconsciously. It is an incredible thing, our mind. It does things that we are not aware of. And
what would manifest that?
Because you even said it. You gave me the clue yourself that you went to your parents to get permission, in a sense, to be absolved of the guilt of as if you were imagining Brenda to be a sister-like person to you.
Right.
So that is your fear. And that is exactly something that would make a guy lose his erection. Thinking, let's say, it happens a lot when you dig and you find out that the wife or the girlfriend is just like mom. And so in the middle of sex, he can't orgasm or ejaculate because it's like incest fear.
Right.
So now for you, it's cis.
Can that also be another reason for? I've always had a problem with as far as a girl will ask me to feel her in her private spaces, and I'll just be grossed out by that for what reason I don't know.
Okay.
And yet I don't mind.
So now that's another level of a fear that I hear.
Right.
And that is that you have a fear that there is something inside the vagina that is going to engulf you, maybe bite you off. You will somehow get lost in the cave.
Well, I don't. I've heard that people are afraid of, like, I don't know what they call it, but people being afraid of germs or something like that.
Right.
And sometimes I think that's how I feel at times.
Right.
That I'm afraid of catching something, like say she decides that we're going to have oral sex and then she wants to kiss me afterwards.
Right.
That something like that bothers me, but I'm just why?
Al, relax.
Yeah. Right. Because you have this distaste for the activity. It's an association to you of what it means. That somehow it is going to do something harmful to you.
Right.
So now if you know that, now that we've brought this out into the open, half the battle in getting over these kinds of problems is knowing what the true source of it, what that brain is doing unconsciously. Bring the unconscious to the conscious, and then you can start to control it.
Right.
So now you could say to yourself, no, wait a minute, I'm so grossed out, I'm thinking there's germs being transmitted. The vagina has germs. Do you think that the vagina has teeth?
No.
Some men do. I think it has teeth, and if you put your penis in it, it's going to
Get bitten off or something.
bite you off. They do, and that's why they can't. As soon as they start to have intromission, as soon as they want to have intercourse, boom, the erection gets gone because the penis is saying, no, sirree, I ain't going in there to get bitten off. Or to get germs.
Right.
And have it fall off.
Right, exactly. Right. When really, this is what you have to do. You must, Al, start saying the vagina is a wonderful, safe, cozy place. Where my penis will be taken very good care of. It will be like going to a health spa.
Right.
Hot springs.
Right. Well, does that also go for when the girl wants to be touched, like when she wants to be touched, and that she wants me to stick my finger there.
Right. And instead of saying, "Oh my God, this is a dangerous place. What is this place I am being asked to touch that might give me germs and I might die, God only knows." Instead you say, "Oh, what a wonderful new adventure. What a fascinating cave for me to explore.
So, I mean, this is, I want to know.
What a healthy experience for my finger."
I mean, that there is people that have this problem.
Absolutely.
I don't want to be, weird.
You're not the only one. There are lots of guys who grow up with those kinds of fears and it starts in the time when they're kids, and they have the penis, and the little girl has that hole, and where does that hole lead? And what is the whole thought about a cave? A cave is a dark, unknown place where all kinds of things could happen.
Right.
And those are real fears that get developed from the time you're 4 years old. So you have to get over them. That's all, just like what we were talking about. You face them, and then you create a new image to say, that cave, there are not bats in the cave are going to blow into my face or something. There's going to be all kinds of wonderful things in there to explore.
Right, okay.
And it's not your sister.
Okay.
Couple of things to work on there, Al.
Exactly, right.
Well,
and
I've got 4 sisters. So.
All right, buddy.
All right, well, I'll jump in the sack with her right now. Thanks a lot.
There you go. Call us back if it gets hard.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
We need an update. Call the erection
cute.
line. Hello, Mike. You're on Z100.
Yeah,
How you doing?
I'm all right.
Good. What's up?
I want to know about my girlfriend, Lisa.
Uh-huh.
She's 28 now, right?
Right.
I'm 17.
Like those older women, Mike.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Okay, now...
Here's to you, Mrs. Robinson. You know that movie, The Graduate?
No.
With Dustin Hoffman?
No.
He was
Too old. Yeah, too old.
He was the... What do you mean? It's a classic. Get out of here.
Mike hasn't seen it yet.
He was the young kid. How old was he in that movie?
College graduate,
18?
right? Or something
Was
like
he the graduate? Was he high school graduate or college graduate? Fell in love with an older woman to teach him all the wonderful ways of love and sex.
So anyway, there, Mikey, what's your story?
All right. She doesn't like to make love as much as I do anymore.
She used to, though?
She used to, though.
Okay.
Okay, now, a second problem I have is that I used to last 9 hours, right? And now I can't even last half an hour. And I'm wondering what's the problem. Do I have a problem?
And now, not a half an hour. What happens in the half an hour?
What happens in half an hour?
What happens?
All right, I'll come and just stop. I'll go down. Then I have to start over again a little while later.
Well, that's normal.
Before I wouldn't have to do that.
Well, what would you do?
Before I would just keep going. I would come and keep going.
9 hours.
Yes.
Marathon Man. That was another movie.
Now, did you? Yeah, right. You got to rent these movies because they're very relevant to your life. Did you? When you had this 9-hour marathon, were you ejaculating a little bit or a lot?
No, a lot.
But were you ejaculating less than when you're only doing it in a half an hour?
No.
Because normally, I tell you, what you're describing, there are guys who can have long marathons like you, and basically what they're doing is they are mediating their level of excitement so that they don't ejaculate as much as they would in a short spurt time, and so they could spread it out over a longer period of time. That is one of the techniques that men can use to learn to have multiple orgasms.
Okay.
So it sounds to me like that's what you might have been doing. Were you?
Oh, well, no, it's hard to explain because before it wasn't really like I felt that it wasn't, that I could, at first I felt that I should pull out and continue, right?
Right.
Then I would start over again. It's not that I would go down or anything. Okay.
Now pull out. Well, describe what you actually did in the 9-hour times. What were you doing?
I would continued. I was proceed my intercourse, right?
Right.
Pull out when I ejaculated.
Right.
Go back in, right?
Right.
Okay.
So you pull out when you ejaculated. What would you do before you came to the point of ejaculating? Would you withhold a little bit? Did you find that you were saying, "Oops, I'm going to ejaculate. I better not ejaculate right now. I better last a little bit longer"?
No, I wouldn't stop myself.
You wouldn't stop yourself. Okay.
No,
You'd continue
not like
and you'd ejaculate. You'd come out and then you'd go back in. But you were detumescent, weren't you? Did you get a hard on again?
Yeah, it wouldn't go down.
It would stay hard.
It would stay hard.
Okay.
No.
And all right, and then you come back inside, and how long? And then you would
continue.
Okay, but it would take you a time, right? How long would it take you before you'd be ready to ejaculate again?
Again, I'd say about another hour and a half to 2.
Okay.
No wonder she got tired of it.
Right.
Mike, you're killing her.
Okay, but you see,
That's before.
but see, it was taking you time to build up sperm again.
Yeah.
The only thing that wasn't happening in your resolution phase, we call it, was that you were not losing your erection. The blood was staying trapped in your penis. That's what kept you hard.
So what's going on now, then?
Well, something emotionally must have happened to change that. Because physiologically, obviously, you're capable of it.
Okay. So, all right, I want to ask you another thing. Okay, so if she doesn't like it now, all right, before...
Was it too long for her?
Huh?
What, Mike, was it too long?
Maybe those marathon sessions, she got bored with them.
No, we both Scorpio, so we both like it a lot.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right, so what was your other question?
Okay. Now, what's the reason she doesn't like it as much anymore?
Something must have happened to change that. Who's that, your buddies?
Uh-huh.
Are they listening? Do they think it's funny?
My girlfriend thinks it's funny. She's right here listening.
Oh, well, let me hear her. Let me talk to her.
She wants to talk to you, Mal. Lisa, get up. She wants to talk to you. Hello, her name is Lisa.
Yeah, I know, right.
Okay.
That's the best way to find out what the problem is not to speculate.
Hello?
Hi, Lisa.
Hi.
So what do you think of our conversation with Mike?
Was he accurate so far?
No, you know.
Or does he exaggerate?
No, before he was like going for a lot of hours and everything. Now he's like short.
Okay, how many hours was he going?
Now he's going maybe about 20 minutes.
And before?
About 7 hours.
Uh-huh.
And which do you prefer?
The long term, of course.
You liked it that long?
Yeah.
Okay, so what's happened? But he said that you didn't want sex as much anymore.
Now I don't.
Why not?
I guess it's because it wasn't like before for so many hours, and now it's so short. You know, you get aggravated and everything.
Well, how do you get aggravated?
You know, it's like, oh God, you know when you're used to something,
Yeah.
you get it all the time, and then all of a sudden you don't get it as much. So
Okay, but Lisa, you realize that you're sabotaging yourself with him that way. Men are very sensitive, and if you're going to say, I'm not interested anymore, then he's going to lose it more and more. I mean, you're partly responsible for that.
But I don't show it or anything.
Yeah, but he know. What do you mean you don't show it? You don't think he's stupid? He knows that. He gets it.
He knows now.
Yeah, and it's hurtful to him. You're not interested anymore, so he doesn't want to perform in the same way.
I'm still interested, you know. I'll still be interested, but I don't say too much anymore.
What did you say before? You're great. You're wonderful. I love making love with you.
You're the best.
Okay, Lisa, let me tell you something. You wanted to get back the way it was before?
Yes.
You better start behaving exactly the way you did before. You are typical of the woman who adds to a guy's problem.
You think so?
Absolutely. And I am not one to blame women. You know that. I'm usually extremely supportive. But not in your case, because you're turning off and not giving him the same kind of acceptance for however he performs. You are too focused on how he performs. That is not fair.
But you know what it is? It's other problems also.
Like what?
You know, like he has like something like a hand problem. Like, you know how a hand problem just starts? I guess because he was around like abusive family and everything, you know.
So you mean hand problem means he hits you?
Yeah, not, you know, like he may like pull me, or like if he'll hit me on my arm or something like that. You know, and I told him that he needs to get help.
Right, I agree with you. Are you mad at him?
Yes, very much because of that.
Okay, well then I got to get back to talking to him to tell him.
Right here, he's waiting.
All right, but don't you go away because I have something else to say to you.
Okay.
No.
Mike.
Back to Mike.
Hello?
Mike.
Yes.
Lisa says you have a hand problem.
Yes, I do.
What does that mean?
Huh?
What does that mean?
Well, we starting to fight a lot.
You get a little slap happy.
And what do you do?
Huh?
What do you do?
Whatever she does to me.
What do you do?
What do I do?
Uh-huh.
You womp on her?
Something like that. I try to restrain myself, though.
All right.
All
Well,
right.
but you're not doing a good job restraining yourself.
No, lately I have.
Well, good. But every time you hit her, you know what you're doing? Eroding the relationship. There's going to be no love left between the two of you. Because she's not enjoying sex with you because you're hitting on her. And not in the good way. All right? So now you're going to have to get some therapy to learn about your anger and how to control it. Was your father abusive?
Yes.
What did he hit your mother?
No, he never.
Did he hit you?
Yeah, always my brothers and sisters, always.
Okay, so your father's hitting your brothers and sisters, and now you're hitting your girlfriend.
Yeah, which I try not to do.
All right, but trying is not good enough.
No, when I got into this relationship, I knew that I should never do that. I knew that was wrong. I never did that, right?
Right.
So I promised her that I would never do that, right?
Right.
And I feel now that I promised her, she thinks that she could slap me. She started slapping me. And then she felt that she could have got away with it, right?
Oh, so she's hitting you too. All right, so you know that you have to not hit her. Even if she hits you, you have to say, Lisa, stop.
No, I told
You
her.
will not hit me, and I will, and do not let her aggravate you to hit you.
No,
all
she
right?
does.
Hit her.
She does.
Don't fall into it then. Why? Be bigger than that. Be a man.
No, I tell her, if you continue to hit me, I will hit you back.
No. Well, why?
Why? Because you get tired of it.
Well, walk away.
A person can only take so much.
Walk away.
I try.
What do you mean you try?
All right, now if she's over here fighting me now. How you call it? I would try to, if I was to, at first I wanted to go outside.
Yeah.
She wouldn't agree to it. Don't go outside.
Well, so what do you mean? You go outside anyway to stop the fight.
No, but she wouldn't go. She'd be like, well, if you go outside, you stay outside.
Well, fine. So go outside and stay outside. And go over to a friend's house. Don't.
In this corner, we have Mike. And in the other corner, we have Lisa. Are we ready to square off? You two are going to battle it out to the end. Can't be doing that, man.
Yeah. All right. So who's going to put a stop to it? You.
I'm trying to put a stop to it. I want to go to therapy.
All right. Well, then great. You should. You need to.
I think that she needs to go to therapy, too.
I agree with you. Put her back on.
She has a verbal abuse with her.
Oh,
verbal
no
too,
good.
huh?
Put her
And
back on.
physical.
Okay, 1 second.
Oh, one more time. Here we go.
Lisa!
Hello.
Okay. So Lisa, you're no little
Angel.
Right.
Little who?
No rose there. You got a few thorns on you.
Right, but what happened was I changed all of that, you know.
He doesn't say you changed all of that. You're provoking him.
I haven't changed all of that.
This is exactly what I said to you. What did I tell you before? I had this instinct when I was talking to you that you are contributing to this. You're not supporting him in sex anymore, in love. You're not being as loving, and not only that, you're being attacking as well.
No, not really.
That's what he says.
I'm being good now.
No, good now. Well, you know what? I believe him. I think you both need some therapy. We'll put you on hold and get you a referral, and I'm very glad that you are both committed to want to do something about it.
All right, Mike, thank you. Lisa, hang in there. We'll get you some help. 1-800-242-0100. That's our number. Marissa says she's afraid of penises. We talked to Elle, who was afraid of vaginas. It happens for women also. And Jackie says, or wants to know, actually, what's the best and most comfortable positions when you're pregnant. We'll find out next. Chris Jagger with Dr. Judy. Love Phones on Z100. Sponsored by Trojan brand latex condoms. Help reduce the risk. Hello, Marissa. You're on Z100.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. Thanks for holding.
Okay, no problem.
What's up?
All right, I have a problem. Like I've had a few experiences when I've been with guys, and they've, fingered me, and whatever. We fooled around, and they were like able to pleasure me, and then like when they wanted me to
reciprocate.
right.
Good word.
I couldn't
What do they want you to do?
jerk them off.
Why couldn't you do that?
It's like almost like a fear I have. I don't know. It's
A
just
fear of what, Marissa?
of penises.
Penis phobia.
Yeah.
Right. Why are they scary?
They're just, I don't know. It's like I have a brother, and I've seen them like once in a while, and it's like disgusting.
Where'd you see your brother?
Where? Like before he takes a shower, after.
Right. Okay. And who ever told you that it was disgusting?
It's not that anyone told me, like, at all. Like, it's like the opposite. Like, I'll be with a friend and she'll be talking about it, about like jerking guys off,
And you just go, bleh.
right.
And she says what?
She says that it's like cool. It like doesn't bother her. And
Not bothering her is different than being pleasant.
no, but like from the way she talks about it, it's
She enjoys it, you think?
yeah. It seems
So what is unpleasant about them? The way they look, the way they act, what they do, what they could do, what?
it's like it's everything.
Well, tell me what.
The way they look.
How do they look?
I don't know. They just like hang.
Right, they sometimes hang. Yes, that's true.
Yeah?
I mean, and it's not like I've been with guys who I thought were like really attractive, and it's not like their whole appearance disgusts me. It's just like, it's just like when it comes to that, I can't do it.
Okay, so they hang, and what else was unpleasant about them?
They're hairy.
They're hairy, a little bit hairy.
Yeah.
They're hairy where? Not everywhere, because they're not hairy on the shaft.
Right.
Or on the glands,
Right.
which is what's colloquially called the head.
Right.
So they're just hairy around the scrotum.
Right.
And not a whole lot. It's not like a whole head of hair, right?
I guess not.
No. Okay, but the hair is there, right? Just like the hair on you.
Right.
How do you feel about you?
I feel pretty fine, I guess.
Are you pretty?
Yeah.
You think your vagina's pretty?
Well, it's not bad, I guess.
Good. I'm happy to hear that. That's great. Okay, well, they have kind of what we call an analog of you. They have things that are equivalent of you. They're just put in different places. Although sometimes there's controversy about that. Not everybody likes to think of it this way, but their penis could be equivalent to your clitoris.
Okay.
And you could think of the lips of your vaginal area. They have a scrotum. So it's kind of equal in a certain way.
Right.
So what else is unpleasant about them?
I guess the whole, like, overall appearance, it's just like, I don't know.
What does it look like? If you had to describe a metaphor of what it's like.
Like a hairy hot dog.
Hairy hot dog. Are hot dogs good?
What?
Are hot dogs a good thing?
Yeah, they're all right.
Okay, so we've gotten to the point of saying hot dogs are all right, and they look like a hot dog, so maybe they're not that awful. If they were pleasant, what could you imagine that you would think about them? Tell me the opposite story now. Tell me, Marissa, as if, even though it is not true right now,
Right.
tell me something about, well, I discovered penises the other day, and this is what I think about them, Dr. Judy. And Chris?
I
Don't forget he's got one.
Yes. It's hanging here.
What's pleasant about them?
Right.
They're sexy.
They are?
Well,
After they're a hairy hot dog and they're sexy?
I guess they could be.
Oh, how?
I don't know.
What about the fact that they like you? They may talk to you.
Yeah.
That could be kind of fun. Might be an interesting toy. What else?
What else? I don't know. There's nothing pleasant about them.
Well, that's why I'm asking you to make up something pleasant.
Make up something.
Yeah, because you made up something negative. We make up things in our head, Marissa. This is very important. It doesn't just go for penises or genital organs or anything else. It goes for every single thing in life. We decide we like it or we don't like it. It's good or it's bad. For a whole person, you like this guy, you don't like that guy. You like this class, you don't like that class.
Yeah.
I mean, we make up all these things in our head and then we give ourselves reasons for it. So that's why I'm going through this with you, because I think it's a very important exercise for you with regard to the specific thing you're talking about, but for everybody, with anything that we decide we like or don't. We make up the reasons. Because there's nothing that says that penises are not good. It's not writ anywhere.
Right.
So you made it up. So now I want you to, the whole point of this, and everybody can do the same kind of exercise for anything in their life, is now make up the other story. And then I want you to be able to choose which story do you think you might want to live with for a while.
Okay. Okay.
So now, just for a little bit before we get off, now I want to hear just a little bit more about the good penis story. They're sexy, I heard.
All right, they're sexy. I guess they can make me feel good.
Yes, that's true.
I guess they can help me make someone else feel good.
Yes. And they might be kind of cute. They look like, sort of like a face.
Okay.
You might feel, I mean, in the beginning, when you're first touching it, might feel kind of soft in your hand. Maybe like a teddy bear.
Not for long.
Then a lion.
Yes.
That teddy bear turns into a lion. All right, you get the point?
Yeah.
Which story sounds better?
I guess the second one.
Okay, so play with that for a while, Marissa.
Okay.
All right.
Thank
So it's
you.
better you play with that in your head than playing with something that you're not comfortable with.
Yeah.
Because that might be another part of it, the discomfort level of
Well, it
dealing with
comes
it.
from our head. What we want to do in sex is defined by what we decide would be pleasurable.
Jackie, the pregnant woman. Hello, Jackie. Oh, her water broke. I'm sorry. She'll be back with us shortly. Hang on, Jackie. Hello, Colleen. You're on Z100 Love Phones.
Hello?
Hi, Colleen. Thanks for holding.
Hi, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Oh, I'm all right. I have this problem. Sometimes when I have sex often with my boyfriend, I have urinary problems where I have painful urination. And I went to, it happened a couple of weeks ago, and I thought that it could have been a UTI, and they did a urinalysis.
UTI being what?
Urinary
tract infection.
Okay.
And it came out negative. And I was wondering, what do you think it could be?
Did they have any other suggestions?
No.
What do you mean, no?
Well, I
You
didn't.
go to
I
the
didn't
doctor.
I didn't tell him that. I didn't think it was from sex.
You go to the doctor. You have pain, and they say,
I thought it was
"Okay,
a
now
urinary
it's not."
tract
What?
infection. I thought that it was just a urinary tract infection.
I know, but if they find out that it's not that, and nobody talks to you about what are the other possibilities,
No.
how's that possible? Did you actually talk to somebody?
I talked to the doctor. I told him my symptoms.
And was it a he?
It was a he.
What did he say?
He just asked me if I ever had it before, and I told him I had one a couple of years ago, so that's why I thought that's what it was. And he put me on a prescription for Bactrim, which I took, and I drank lots of cranberry juice. And I called back 2 days later to find out the results, and they said that it was negative.
And then did you speak to him then at that point?
No, I talked to one of the nurses.
Oh, well then
And shoved me off the phone real quick.
that's not good.
No, it's not.
No. Well, this is the problem. You go back to that doctor and you say, you have not earned your money and I don't accept this kind of treatment. No, because when women and men put up with that kind of very insufficient treatment from a doctor, that's all we get. I mean, you deserve to have your symptoms listened to, your problem followed through, and attention for your money that you've paid.
Yeah.
I'm outraged.
They didn't do any kind of physical exam. And after I took the Bactrim, it went away. And then after this weekend, I saw my boyfriend again. And today, it just started again with the painful urination. I thought maybe it could be from, like, swelling, pushing on the urethra or something like that.
Absolutely. You saw your boyfriend again. Are you talking about having sex?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's only when I have a lot of sex, basically.
Excellent.
All right. All right. Well, there are reasons for this. There are plenty of possibilities there. There
Well, they're
are
very
lots
careful,
of reasons
And I
why.
don't think it could be from any kind of sexually transmitted diseases. But
Well, you may not have I'm totally outraged. You may not have a urinary tract infection, but you could have any number of other things. You could, in fact, have even at the simplest level, you could have what we call a tipped uterus. In that case, your uterus, it could be tipped toward the front or it could be tipped towards the back. And when that happens, in certain kinds of sexual activity or a lot of sex, when there's a lot of friction inside, you may be, just as you said, irritating your other different organs. And that irritation, even within the vagina of the bladder, can end up creating a slight bleeding, especially if you've had it before. So there is, and that's only one possibility, but there are so many others for what you have, which is called, some kind of dyspareunia. Could be referred pain from someplace else. You could be having a problem in another part of your body that's being exhibited there.
So she needs to go back to the doctor.
And go go and say,
Get an
look,
answer.
this is my problem, and I don't have an answer for it. It is totally insufficient to just go have a test and have a nurse tell you it's negative, and that's it.
And get a vibrator.
Do not ever put up with that kind of slipshod kind of medical treatment.
And don't pay your bill. That'll get their attention. Hello, Emily.
Hi.
Hi, thanks for holding. You're on Z100 Love Phones.
Hi. Do you remember me? I called about a month ago and I had orgasms in my sleep and my dreams.
Yeah.
But only in your dreams.
Right, and we were so happy for you.
Yeah. Well, you've even
And you were bemoaning that you didn't have orgasms in real life, but you had them in your dream. And remember, we cheered and we said, be delighted because not everybody has them in their dreams, and this means that you can have... Remember I told you could have better ones in real life?
Yeah.
Well,
it happened last night.
Emily had the big O. Yeah, all right. Yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Sam wants to know, was that with or without the vibrator?
Without.
Without. There you go.
All right.
Birthday.
Ah, which birthday?
I'm 19 today. It was at midnight last night.
Oh,
so.
congratulations. Neat.
Yeah.
So,
What's her name?
what happened?
It's terrible. Well, I met this guy and I love him. His name is Harry.
Yeah.
Not his real name, but his name is Harry.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I guess I never felt that way about anyone else, so it just happened.
Oh, that's so wonderful.
Yeah, it was very nice.
Oh my goodness, you've had the best kind of an orgasm because it was with someone you love.
That's what I think it was. I think that's why. Because I never felt like that before.
Oh, Emily, you are so lucky. That's terrific.
Yeah.
Good for you.
He wanted me to tell you.
Well, we're happy for you.
Thanks
We
for
are
sharing.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
Sam, we're beyond happy for you.
Well,
This
here's
is
to many more.
This is the best thing you could possibly ever imagine. This is beautiful. To have your first orgasm with someone you love and to have it come from a loving experience. Emily, thank you for telling us that.
Oh, you're welcome.
All right, and
Emily.
bless you, Harry. Woo.
Get a vibrator. You'll have many more.
And many more. There you go. Thanks, Emily. Appreciate it. Hello, Phil. You're on Z100.
Sam, what do you think of Jagger's vibrator?
Excellent.
Double header. I got to plug that baby in. And
It's a Hitachi doubleheader. It's got two huge heads.
Your mom said it's for your shoulder and your back at the same time. I was thinking of other places, but I'll go for that.
That is right.
We'll start there. Phil?
Hi.
Hi, you with us?
Yes, I'm still
How
here.
are you, sir?
Good, how are
Mom's
you?
wonderful.
I
Is
just
she
like
wonderful, my mom?
She is.
You're still there?
Yeah. And we're just admiring Dr. Judy's mom. She's in the studio tonight with us.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
I just want to say I think your show is wonderful, by the way.
Phil, thank you.
Very
You're
good,
welcome.
Phil.
Now, I have a pretty big problem.
Okay.
Okay, about 3 years ago, I started seeing this girl that I had met in modeling school, and she was beautiful, and we started seeing each other, and
Are you a model too?
yes, and we used to go out, and within 3 years, we had sex 3 times. So I kind of didn't know what was going on, why I had this problem, because I wasn't really... I was attracted to her. She was beautiful and everything, but sexually we weren't really active. She was young. She was 3 years younger than I was. So there was an inexperience on her part. And I really wasn't, let's say, well-versed in the situation, so I really didn't pounce on her.
All right.
All right, so then here's the problem. My best friend turns out to be gay. Mm-hmm. And being a best friend, I supported him, and we started going out. And we started going to the gay clubs and all, and I got a lot of attention from the gay men. Mm-hmm. And to make a long story longer, I found myself kind of lured into that lifestyle. Mm-hmm. And I found myself liking it. Mm-hmm. And I had a couple of sexual encounters.
Do you still have the girlfriend?
No, by this time I got rid of her.
Okay.
Are you having safe sex?
Of course. And by this time I found that I really enjoyed having sex with men.
So the question is?
Wait.
Oh, there's more.
Not yet, there's more.
Trying to move you along.
Okay, thanks. The problem is now I don't see myself being gay because I don't know if it's because of her that she wasn't experienced and I didn't get any satisfaction from her, or I mean now I'm seeing a girl now, mm-hmm. but she's 28 and she's very like timid too, and I'm like surrounded by these timid non-sexual people that I can't women that I can't seem to.
Right.
But with a gay man you're okay.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Now, isn't that a tremendous mystery? I wonder where your love antenna, how they are vibrating, so that, Phil, they bring to you all the shy, timid girls in the world. You've got timid writ all over your female love antenna.
I don't know what's wrong.
Timid
So they're
girls
non-threatening, non-assertive,
Exactly.
Right.
They're safe.
Good
Right.
girls. Good girls.
Exactly.
That you marry, but you don't have like a wild sexual
Right. Okay, so what are you doing with yourself? You are setting yourself up.
What do you mean?
You're setting yourself up. Now I'm asking you, what are you setting yourself up for? I could tell a bunch of things.
Do you think that I'm prejudging myself?
You are, that's what, setting yourself up. You're creating a situation to put yourself in a box. Okay, I'm going to have all these timid girls around me who I'm not going to really enjoy sex with, so I really am not going to want to make a commitment to women because it's really just going to end up being boring.
Right.
And all these girls who are really good girls are sexually vapid.
Right.
I think you have what we call the Madonna prostitute syndrome.
The Madonna prostitute syndrome.
Yes.
Please elaborate.
What that means, and I don't mean the Madonna, the one who grabs her crotch in concerts.
The Holy Madonna.
Right, the Holy Mother. What you do, like what many other men do, is that they kind of allow a woman to be both things, both the sweet mother type and the erotic, sexy, high dancer type. So they meet a girl, and she either has to be the sweetheart, and they have no sex with her and say, oh, God, this is unbearable. Or they go out with what they call sluts all the time, and they say, well, all these women, I can't really marry any of them because they're not worthy. Instead of allowing one woman to be both.
But
And
instead of
that
the
way-
slut, he's going out with the guys.
Right.
to have
So
sex.
yeah. So then it doesn't matter. So you're using, and then you're using
got the
seeing
Madonna
timid
Bon Jovi
women
syndrome.
as a way to say I'm not really going to make a decision about my sexuality either.
Well, Sam says he has the Madonna Bon Jovi syndrome.
Funny. So let me ask a question. Do you think that I'm gay? Do you think that's a possibility that I'm gay, or
It
that I'm?
quacks like a duck and looks like a duck.
Do you think it's a duck?
No, I don't know.
No, I don't think it's about you being gay or not gay. I think, you're using the guys as the opposite thing. You don't want to make a commitment to anybody. That's your problem. Maybe you just like yourself. Oh, that feels good.
We have another vibrator on.
I think that's what's going on with you, Phil. You'll go out with the guys and you say, oh, well, this doesn't really suit me. I'm missing something. Then you go out with the women and you say, well, these aren't good enough. They're just timid and, and too motherly and sweethearty. Right? So then you go back with the guys to have the hot, tart, lovey stuff. And then you say, something's missing here.
Yeah.
So basically, you need to find one person who is going to be motherly and sweet and kind of feminine and also be tough.
Sounds good.
And then allow yourself to be all those parts in yourself. That's what I really think is deep behind that, to see, Phil. That you have to allow Phil, never mind the woman having the woman and the guy. On top of all of that, let me say one last thing. And that is that I think the third dimension of what you're doing is that you're setting up a situation of having mommy and daddy. You got the sweet mother type, and then you're going out with and then you got the daddy type. And you are the kid who now owns mommy and daddy. Get
Okay.
it?
Sounds good. Thank
All
you.
right, Phil, thank you. All right, Sam has the other vibrator on. We have to go test
Such
this
a
out.
fascinating dynamic when people do that.
The Madonna Bon Jovi syndrome?
Yeah, right. That's brilliant. That goes into Love Phone's dictionary.
Please put that in there, Sam. Thank you. We'll take a break and come back. 1-800-242-0100. That's our number. Love Phone sponsored by Trojan Brand Latex Condoms. Help reduce the risk. Jagger and the doctor. Nothing too wild, nothing too weird we can't talk about. Hello, Margaret. You
I'll
there?
tell you what's weird, though. You're not in your sneakers tonight.
Oh, no. These are my party shoes.
Unbelievable. What a big deal. This is a major event, everybody.
I
The
always
studio
have
is
sneakers
warm, and Jagger is wearing shoes.
Okay. Margaret, I'm glad you called, and I'm sure you're thrilled to know that
Yeah.
about my shoes. Thank you.
Yeah.
What's up, Margaret?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
Hello?
Yeah, what's up with your boyfriend? Tell us, you're on the air.
He don't like me going down on him.
He don't?
No, he says I'm too gentle.
Oh, he wants you to be a little rougher?
Yeah.
What's he want you to do? Gnaw on it?
I don't know. He says I do like really, really too gentle, and I can't make him ejaculate.
Excellent.
Well, if you're doing it, see, that's not too fair. If he says you're doing it too gentle, that's a criticism that doesn't help you understand what you should be doing. So you need to say to him, look, that's true. I would really like to pleasure you in the way that you would like it. So why don't you show me and tell me exactly what to do?
I'm afraid.
Afraid of what?
Of hurting them, my teeth.
Oh.
Well, I don't think he wants you to be quite that rough.
Right. You don't, yeah, most guys don't like it with their teeth, do they?
No.
Okay, so you want to use your mouth and your lips and your tongue, not your teeth. But you don't have to use your teeth, do you?
No, not really.
Okay, so if you were to put your finger in your mouth now, okay?
Yeah.
Would you have to be biting it?
No.
How would you not bite it?
Easy. All right, listen, I gotta go. My parents are home.
Uh-oh.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So much for that conversation. Thanks a lot, Margaret. All right. We'll get back to that. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So just think about it as if you had one of those ice sticks, you know?
Popsicle?
You know, those popsicle sticks, right? And that you, well, sometimes they can't really say that. Sometimes people like to bite those popsicle sticks off. Uh-oh.
That's true. Don't want to do that.
No, you want to not do that, but you want to have the same kind of other action about just using your lips. And that doesn't mean you have to be soft, though. I'll tell you one thing about that, though. Some women are afraid of their aggression. It isn't just that they're afraid of doing it too hard. As a technique, they may be a little bit too
timid,
angry or aggressive and might get into it too much for an emotional anger.
That would be kind of painful. Hello, Dawn.
Hello.
Hi, you're on Z100. How you doing?
Hanging in there.
Good. What's up?
Well, I'm only 17 years old, and I work at a restaurant in my town. Well, actually, not my town. It's the next town over, but...
All right.
There's a guy who I was started to go with. He's 26 years old. He's a chef there. And he got married on May 15th. But
So he's a newlywed.
Yeah, but we still go together.
Oh.
And I know that I shouldn't, but I love him, you know? I don't know what to tell him.
What does he tell you about his new wife?
Oh, he tells me, you know, she's got this problem and she really can't have sex and this and that. But, you know, he doesn't tell me that he loves her. He tells me that he cares about her and that he had to marry her because they were engaged for 2.5 years and he couldn't hold her off anymore.
People get married for the wrong reasons, don't
Yes,
they?
really.
Stupid.
Okay, well, so you want to participate in that?
No, but I mean...
Is that healthy for you?
No.
Okay, so why do you keep doing something that's not healthy for you?
Because I'm caught up now. It's been like 5 months, and I didn't even know he was getting engaged.
Okay, what's holding you in it?
My heart.
But your heart is getting hurt.
Yeah, I love him, you know? But
all right, well...
I know that he's not going to leave her for me.
All right, so then what are you getting? Crumbs?
Pleasure? No,
crumbs.
No, I'm sorry.
A little bit of pleasure, but a crummy pleasure.
Yeah.
All right, so how long are you going to keep doing that? The more you hold yourself into this little limbo of just getting the crumbs of your pleasure and love, the less you're going to get in another place in life.
What do I do?
You leave him.
What do I say?
You say, I love you, but this cannot be.
See, that's the one thing I never... When we first started going together, he says to me, are you going to fall in love with me? And I said, no. I said, you know, like, oh, no, why would I? And I never let him know how I felt about him. And never, not to this day, have I let him know how I feel about him. I'm afraid to let him know. I work with him. What am I going to do, you know?
Right. Afraid to let him know that you love him? Yeah. All right, you need to have like a purge and say, you can say as much as you want, I love you, you're the most wonderful thing in the world to me, there will never be anybody else. Don't over-dramatize it that way. You can't really say that. But if that's how you feel, and then say, but this cannot be. I'm going to be the stronger of the two of us and say, you work it out in your marriage, and I have to move on to somebody else whom I can love unfettered and without any shackles around it.
How can I see him every day at work and like face him? Tell him that.
By forcing your brain to think in another way. You want to go on just, you know, the way it is? Is that pleasant?
No.
Sure, he gets the best of both worlds. You get nothing.
Yeah, really, exactly.
And my friends always tell me, oh, you know he won't leave him for you. You know he won't leave her for you. And I know, but like every night I cry over it. Last night I cried. I went out and I see everyone and says, oh, I love you, honey. And
well, is this what you want? Is this what you're going to torture yourself with forever?
Yeah. You choose it. You choose it. You stay with it. Okay?
You got it?
Up to you.
Okay.
When you're ready to change choosing it, you will not have to lie in your pillow crying over somebody who is not there for you.
He's got 2 eggs over easy.
He's got 2 eggs over easy. That's hysterical.
And then some. Hello, Jill.
Yes?
You're on Z100. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good, thanks. How are you?
Good.
What's up with you?
Well, I hit my boyfriend yesterday in his job.
More fighters. You hit him?
Yeah, I fist fight him.
Okay.
And
why?
Because we were supposed to meet today. We meet every Monday to spend time together. And he had something that he had to do or something, and I don't believe him because he lies a lot. And he couldn't make it, and he left the mess on the machine, and I got really mad, and I went over to his job, and I kind of hit him when he came over to say hello.
You popped him one.
You were that frustrated, right?
Yeah.
What were you guys going to meet and do?
We just spent time together. And
What, like during lunch?
No, like the whole day.
Well, how if he has to work?
After work.
Okay.
So,
but you punched him at work.
Yep.
What happened to bring you to that level of frustration?
Well, he does a lot of things.
What didn't he do that made you so angry?
What didn't he do? He couldn't meet me on Monday.
Meet you for what?
Just to spend time,
To
like
do what?
Sex.
Okay. So you were sexually rejected.
Now we get it. Now I would have slapped him too.
Why?
Now we get to the bottom of it.
Why would you have slapped
I'd be
him?
all waiting for it and, disappointed afterwards. It
Frustrated.
blew me off, yeah.
Frustrated. Well,
Okay, maybe I would have slapped him.
You are not unlike the monkeys. Downstate Medical Center did a study where they introduced female monkeys into the male monkeys' cages, where the female monkeys were altered. They had a tampon inside their vagina, so they could not mate. The male monkeys, approaching the female monkeys who could not mate with them, got so distressed they threw themselves against the cage, they picked at their skin, they swatted the female monkeys, they masturbated. They were very unhappy monkeys. Okay, and a year later, when they reintroduced new female monkeys who were not unaltered, who could mate, the male monkeys still did the same disturbed behavior. So you're similar to those male monkeys. When frustrated, strike out.
Violence. Do you beat up on them all the time there, Jill?
No, this is first time.
The point is that the sexual rejection was so strong for you, you had to make a message to him to let him know.
Right.
Why don't you think he listens and cares about you anyway?
That I don't know.
That obviously, you see, that's the point. She doesn't feel loved and cared about, so she has to go hit him to get his attention.
Yeah.
Kind of a roundabout way of getting it, right?
And he says he never listens to what I say.
Oh, perfect. Well, that's why you have to go hit him. So now you're going to stay in a relationship with somebody who doesn't listen to what you say, so you have to hit him?
No.
Who moves you to such frustration that you have to be violent?
Yeah, well, I kind of care about the person. And,
you care about somebody who doesn't listen to you?
He responds most of the time.
He responds most of the time?
Yeah, I mean, we do have fun, and we have conversation going all the time. We never, bored out of our minds.
All right, so then you have to learn to control your own frustration. You sound like maybe you're a spoiled brat who has to have what she wants when she wants it. And if you don't get it, then you get mad.
Yep.
So control yourself, girl.
Did he swing back?
No.
You're lucky.
No, I'm not, because I actually could fight really well.
Okay.
Oh, well, so then you pride... I hear this now. Now we've gotten to the bottom of it.
So it's a show her stuff.
Right. So you either... This makes you proud that you are strong and that you could put up with it. Maybe he likes that you're tough and he reinforces it. This happens too. And then maybe there's a part of you that also has to learn what we call frustration tolerance and a higher threshold, it's called, for frustration, so that you don't have to strike out. I think it's more that she's been reinforced that this is a neat thing that shows that she's a strong woman.
She's tough. She can get away.
I agree.
Does she know the difference between hearing and listening? That's the question.
Oh,
Big
that's
difference
a heavy
there.
one.
All right, Jill. Thank you.
Ooh.
Hello, Mike.
Mike.
And you want to tell us what the difference is?
Hello?
Yeah, hello, Mike.
Why don't we have
hold on a
Jamie
second.
Bright tell us what the difference is, since she's the
Jamie,
one who
she's
asked
hanging- yes.
the question.
Hello?
Wait, hold on, Mike.
Jamie's interning at Regis and Kathy Lee and loves love phone, so...
The difference between hearing and listening, you can talk to your partner, and he may sit there and hear what you have to say, but not really let it go through his ears and process it. Or he can listen and digest it and then come back with communication back to you. If you're not listening to each other, no communication gets across. It's just words.
Excellent.
And how is Regis?
He's wonderful.
Is it Andrea? What was that problem he had? That Andrea? What do you call it?
He had a small heart problem. He's healthy. He's fine.
He's Andrea what?
Angioplasty.
Angioplasty.
And now I understand. There was a report in a lot of the rags, I guess, and Kathy Lee is suing one of the tabloids, right, for a report that they made that they had this conception outside. It was in vitro fertilization, or there was some. Oh, I know. She had had his sperm spun in order.
Who, Regis's?
Yes. No.
Oh, Frank Giffords. Oh my! Wait a minute. Oh my God, Kathy Lee and Regis.
Kathy Lee was insisting that had her husband's sperm spun by a doctor who's in Europe, I guess, in order to ensure that they have a certain sex of kid that they wanted, and then they had it in vitro fertilization. Is that not true?
Terrible. No, it's false claims. I mean,
that wasn't true.
As far as I know, it's normal process. I don't ask Kathy Lee personally. I'm sure she has a wonderful sex life, yes. and I wish the best of them. They're wonderful people.
Yeah, definitely. We should ask her if it's true.
Can you give me a copy of her album?
She's having a little girl.
Please. Hello, Mike.
Hello.
Yes, are you there?
Yeah.
How are you?
All right. How are you?
Good, Mike. What's going on?
We just have a small problem here.
Tell us about it.
Okay, I'm a 36-year-old, and my girlfriend, she's about 26. Mm-hmm. And that every time, we have sex, and afterwards she squirts a lot of fluid. Mm-hmm. And she's kind of scared because she said she never, did that before. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to ask, Dr. Judy.
Is it a lot? Does it shoot across the room?
I'll tell you, it's just once.
It's like one of those octopuses you see on those National Geographic specials that squirt out at you.
We did it like after 3 days.
Oh, what?
And it shot on the floor all over, and it's all over. It's like unbelievable. You got to see it.
I'd like to.
I'm sure you would. So, what do you think, Dr. Judy?
I think she's having what we call a female ejaculation.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Some women do it, and it seems like a real propellered, expelled fluid that will shoot out like a squirt gun.
That's exactly what it shoots out, and it runs down her thighs.
Right. It can either be a Vesuvius that seems to, just run like a waterfall endlessly down her leg, or it can be shot out and more expelled like some kind of squirt gun.
Right. If we do it like after 2 or 3 days, then it shoots out. And it's a lot more than when we do it like every day.
It builds up in there.
Right.
What?
You know it, and you know it's not urine.
No, it isn't. No.
How do you know it's not urine?
Because it tastes sweet,
Right.
Because what is it?
You've tasted it. It's female ejaculate, and not all right. It's a different consistency.
Is it sweet? I mean, usually.
Yes, it is sweeter. It is a different consistency than the vaginal lubrication. You know when you have a pre-ejaculate.
Right.
When you have that little droplet at the end of that collects at the end of your penis that happens before you ejaculate.
Right.
When you get excited, well, that has a different consistency than your ejaculate. Right? It's clearer. It has some sperm in it, but fewer.
Okay.
It comes from the Cowper's gland as opposed to all the semen, which is from the seminiferous vesicles and through the vas deferens and all that other process. Similar kind of a thing in the female, that the ejaculate, this ejaculate fluid, is processed in a different way than the vaginal lubrication, which seeps through the vaginal walls, and it is propelled. It often it is thought to come from more the stimulation of the anterior wall of the vagina.
Okay, because she was really scared, because she was very active before she met me, in sex, and she never had that before. So.
There is nothing for her to be scared about. She should be very happy with it.
Okay.
All right, Mike.
Thank you.
Enjoy that sweet
love
stuff.
Your show, guys.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
Okay, Mike.
Bye-bye.
Thanks a lot for the call. It's the show we do Monday through Thursday night, live, 10 to midnight. Chris Jagger with the doctor and Donna. Hi, Donna. You're on Z100.
Hi.
How you doing?
All right. How are you?
Good. Thanks for holding. What's up?
I just had a baby about 4 months ago, and my husband kind of lost all interest.
Oh, the old no sex after the baby's born.
Exactly.
Oh, gosh, that's so frustrating.
Terrible.
Right.
And it's not like it's my first child. This is my second child.
Did you have that lull in there with the first one?
Pardon me?
Did you have that lull in there with the first one?
No.
So he was okay with the first baby?
Right.
And so now he's lost interest?
Right.
Mm-hmm. Did he watch the delivery?
Yes.
Did he watch the delivery the first time?
Yes.
We watched the first time, too. What do you think
why is that
about
when
it,
guys
babe?
go into the delivery room that turns them, that freaks them out, or...
Well, they can either get bonded and love it even more, the
Or
wife and the
get-
baby, or they say, ooh, all that guck, all that yuck, all that blood, all that... bleh.
You want me to put it in there?
Right. So, how hurtful.
Right, exactly.
And you're what? Angry.
Exactly.
And hurt.
Because
and
it's like
disappointed.
I've lost
And horny.
all my weight and everything.
Mm-hmm. So you're saying, wait a minute, it's not about my body.
Exactly.
Is he having an affair?
I don't know.
Mm-hmm. So he can't cope with being a daddy twice over. It's too much for him. First
Right.
time it was maybe okay, but now, oops, too much.
Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're major mom.
Right.
Exactly.
And he's supposed to be major dad. But he ain't playing the role too well, right?
Right.
Oh,
So does he
what are you
do
gonna
anything at all? I mean, is there any fooling around at all?
No.
So what are you going to do
Wow.
about this?
I don't know. That's why I was hoping you could help me.
Well, it sounds like you need some major couples counseling before the problem gets worse, before this little molehill turns into a huge mountain. All right?
What's
You're going to
that?
have to have some
time together.
Oh, Grandma wants to babysit.
Tell Grandma to babysit and let them have a weekend away.
Yeah, have you guys gone away together without the
This is where
kids?
I want you to know I get all my best advice from my mom over there, who has just contributed. Let Grandma babysit.
Has that happened yet, Donna?
No.
Just the two of you?
No.
All right, well.
Well, that's what's important, having some time together. Are you too tired to be with him?
No, not really.
Uh-huh.
Like now, he's sleeping and I'm awake.
So he
It's like our
stops.
schedules are reversed.
Why is that? You're
He
up.
works all day, and by the time he gets home, I'm like wide awake and he's real tired.
Now, Donna, if you went in there right now into the bedroom and started going down on him, what kind of response do you think you'd get?
He'd probably stay sleeping.
Really? It's gotten to that point? Ooh.
I'm
that's
trying.
serious time.
I always tell all my lovers that they can wake me up at any time.
No time limits for you.
That's a wonderful statement, Sam. I love
Yes.
that. Excellent. That is excellent. And you, as love partners, especially after marriage, you should say the same thing.
Sam's
Only people
always good to
stop
go.
treating each other well.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, you need some marriage counseling because otherwise it's just going to deteriorate, and you get more angry, and he will get more withdrawn, and then you will start taking it out on the kids, God forbid,
Right.
because you'll both be disappointed and angry. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right, Donna, thanks a lot. You might want to try that anyway. See what happens. Hello, Ron.
Hello.
Right.
Just sneak up on him just in surprise. What's up, Ron?
Well, I got a little problem.
Okay.
First thing I want to tell you that I think your show is great.
All
Because,
right.
You know,
Thank you.
I think that you guys should keep it up because, you know, there's a lot of people out there who don't know what the hell's going on.
Yeah, if you listen, you'd find that out real quick, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, Ron.
You're welcome. Now, look, I know the problem, but I don't know the solution.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I was going out with this girl for a couple of years, and I would say about 3 years now, and I broke up with her about a year I broke up with her. Now, I've been going out to clubs and, you know, meeting people and dating, and, you know, I'm kind of shy, and I feel that, you know, it's hard to talk to people. Now, when I speak to a girl or something of that sort, she... You know, we go back to my house or whatever, and you know, I can't perform. I can't do anything. I think because the problem is because I would watch like dirty movies or something.
You watch porno movies?
Yes.
Nothing beats a good porno movie.
There you go.
And you know, I guess when it's time to perform in real life, I just can't.
Well, you don't have the movies on then?
No, usually there's no, you know, it won't be on or something. If I would take her to a motel or to my house, it won't be on, and I'm just dead.
Mm-hmm.
And I go out and I drink, and I don't be drunk. I just can't perform. I guess it's because of the videos. I don't know, and I want to know.
What about the videos? Is ruining you think?
What about it that's ruining me?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I guess just because, you know, you get into a certain routine.
What's the routine that you see in the videos that you don't think real life lives up to?
I guess just having a real person beside you is probably the only difference in...
Ron finds that slightly distracting at the time.
So why is that more difficult, the real person?
I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it's just that I'm too nervous, or I don't know. And you know, it's frustrating.
Okay, what don't you do?
You know,
You're nervous, all right? You have performance anxiety.
Yeah, but let me just tell you this. After a while, I get comfortable with them,
maybe on a second date I get comfortable and really comfortable, then I could perform. But it's
no, Ron, you don't have to have sex on the first date every time. You meet these women.
I know that, but
loose women you bringing home.
Well, not that many, because I'm scared to go ask them to dance, and if I do ask them, it's not all the time I ask, you know. So I bring someone home. It's just that if I'm attracted to them and they're attracted to me, and it just happens to be that way.
Ron, it doesn't sound like you have a problem. You have over expectations for yourself as a guy, as if you're supposed to be on the first date already. Guess what? As my friend Bernie Zilbergel, who wrote one of the best books, I think, on the market about sex, called Male Sexuality, has a new one out still, he said, it is the biggest myth that men think they are supposed to always be ready. You're not. So give yourself a break. If it takes the second time, you're lucky that you're turned on then. And you have some leftover feelings, I bet, from breaking up with this other girl, and so it's harder to get into another relationship, or rather, not harder. You get it?
In his case.
But in terms of the porno movies, again, you're setting up expectations. It's part of the whole thing. The same thing, that you think you're supposed to behave in a certain way. Because you have to match the way the guys are in the porno movies. Stop it every time until you say, what do you do about it? You wanted to know? You snap your fingers. You say, okay, click off that image. Forget about how I'm supposed to be the tough guy or the big guy or have a big erection or whatever to last forever. And instead, get into focusing on what you feel like in your solar plexus. And get out of your head and into your solar plexus.
All right, Ron, thank you.
Get a vibrator.
That too. All right, Kate, you're on Z100.
You know where your solar plexus is?
Solar plex, is that thing they advertise on TV, that 1-800 number? Is that
That's a solar flex. I'm talking about solar plexus.
Where's that?
That is,
hold on, Kate.
Right? Huh? Below your belly button, that's right. The core of your energy source.
Oh. Kate?
Hello?
Yes, what's up?
Hi, Dr. Judy, first I'd like to compliment you on your show. It's really great.
Thank you. How sweet.
And, I had sex with my boyfriend a week ago, and I feel like I should go to the gynecologist just to get checked up, but I'm not really sure what they do. I mean...
That first scary trip to the gynecologist's office. Uh-oh.
Right. Oh, well, that's wonderful. So how was the experience with your boyfriend?
Oh, it was great. We both agreed on it. It was no forcing or anything. It was... We waited.
No forcing.
That's helpful.
Really? No pressure, you mean? Not him saying, Kate, you better do this or I'm going to dump you.
Yeah.
Well, good. I'm glad. That's wonderful. It's very important that you have a good, loving, sharing experience where you feel that you agreed and it all worked out, well. That's kind of like Emily, right? Did you hear her?
No, I didn't.
Emily said she fell in love with a guy, and then with Harry, and that she had her first orgasm in real life. She used to have them in dreams because she really loved him. Okay, so to the gynecologist, and what do you suspect is going to happen, Kate?
I don't know. That's the thing.
Why do you think you should be going? And you're right, but why?
Because I don't know. I just want to get checked up for any diseases or anything. I'm really careful and stuff. Just in case.
What kind of contraception did you use?
Condom.
Because you might want to be fitted for a diaphragm too, so you could have that. All right, so you're going to go to the gynecologist, and what's going to happen is that hopefully you'll sit and chat in the office first, and he or she will ask you a bunch of questions. And you may have some questions you want to ask. What would they be?
Haven't thought that much about it, huh?
No.
She's more concerned about that big stainless steel table she's going to be thrown on.
Okay, then do you have an image of that?
Yeah. I don't know. It feels scary.
All right. Well, it can be a little bit scary because of the position that you're in, but it's really important, and you have to. And it's the first time. It's like having sex. You have to think of it as a wonderful experience and make sure that you have a positive attitude about it, and then it will be fine. Hopefully you'll go to a gynecologist who's a really nice person who will make you feel comfortable. So you get on the table, and you'll still be talking about, well, when was your last period, and what are your periods like, and how often do you get them, and how do you feel about your body? Hopefully a lot of questions like that. Do you ever examine your breasts? And have you had any pain anywhere? I mean, lots of all these questions. Then he might ask you, what?
I'd be curious as to what does the doctor look for? What is the, I'm sure there's a
Then they're
checklist,
going to they'll do an examination of probably of your breasts, then probably of your abdominal area, then a little bit lower than that, and then he'll want to go inside to do two things. He'll want to put a speculum inside you. That's an instrument that will stretch the opening of the vagina so that you can see inside it.
It's cold.
It doesn't have to be. That's a male thing to think. It used to be cold.
Oh.
So you're going to lie on this chair, and it can be very comfortable to lie back and I want you to have pleasant thoughts. Then you put your knees up, and he or she will say, slide down a little bit. You're going to put your knees up. You're going to slide down. You put your feet in these stirrups. It's like riding a horse sideways. Just pick. Do you like horseback riding?
What? Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
You're in luck. This is going to be a wonderful experience for you.
Radham Kate.
You're gonna get on that examining table just like you're sitting in the saddle. You have your legs apart. You already know what that feels like. Your feet are gonna be in stirrups. Just picture the horse right between your legs. You're not gonna be sitting up. You're gonna be lying down. Okay, and so the gynecologist is going to be between your legs.
Just hope he doesn't pull out his 6-shooter.
All right, then he's going to put this little speculum in. He's going to open it up so that he could see inside. And then he's going to do a couple of things. Number one is he might take a pap smear. Stick a little spatula in there to scrape off a few cells and just test how healthy they are. That won't hurt that much. It'd be a little pinch. And then he may also want to examine your uterus to see that it's in place and that all your organs are in the right place, and even your bladder, etc. So he might take the speculum out and put his fingers inside your vagina and also in your anal opening. Because that's the way to feel the inside of your body. To see that your uterus, and to see whether or not your uterus is tipped or not tipped, or that it's normal shape and size. Okay. And you have to relax. Just think pleasant thoughts.
It's like going to the dentist. Thinking about it beforehand is a lot worse than the actual experience.
Yeah.
All right.
You know, you just get yourself all worked up. It's like the roller coaster. Going up the hill is the worst part. Coming down is a lot of fun.
Right. But I'm glad you called. Do you feel better about it now?
Anticipation.
Yeah. Because I really wasn't sure, what they were going to do.
Which part of it are you most concerned about now?
The lying on the table part and the
The fingers inside you.
Yeah.
That's why you have to have a sense of humor about this.
Right. Well, he or she will put a glove on and grease it up a little bit, and it
Gently,
won't be right.
Ease them straight.
And should say, okay, and hopefully your gynecologist will say, and now I'm going to do this, and now I'm going to put my finger in it, and now I'm going to feel where your uterus is, so
play by play.
Right.
So you know what they're doing.
Right.
All right, Kate, thanks a lot for the phone call, and good luck on your very first experience. Well, it's always good to hear the dentist talking also when he's working around and telling you what he... That's the only thing I can compare it to. Because
and you know what?
No comparison. The ladies are waving me on.
It is. Oh, you don't want it to think about the drill going in. But,
not the drill.
However, there are some analogs here because the inside of your mouth is kind of equivalent to what the inside of the vagina feels like. The same
cavernous.
kind of, right, same type of skin there. Except it's more caverny in the vagina. It's not smooth.
If you say so. We'll have to take your word for it. Thanks again to everybody at the Country Club. We had a great party tonight.
Oh, yeah. And thanks to High Voltage, who threw us a great party, and Get Serious, who did my hair. And they were really fabulous. And Yaka, who did my makeup. And
Country
the guys.
Club. If you check this place out downstairs on East 85th Street, great place to hang out. Also, fashions from Body Worship, which were fabulous.
Oh,
a lot of leather.
Fantastic.
A lot of hot bodies in those outfits.
Ooh, were they amazing. The band, these 4 guys who were in a band who were terrific.
Our buddies from Drambuie.
That's right. They did a fabulous special drink for us.
And also High Voltage. Thanks a lot. You've been listening to Love Phones, heard exclusively in New York.
Bang Drewy, it was called.
Z100. Well, for Love Phones, of course we had to have something like that.
And Après did a huge, wonderful event for us. Every bless them all. And most of all, thanks to all of you.
We'll be back tomorrow night at 10 o'clock. Remember, bring back real safe sex, help find a cure for AIDS. Love Phones, an exclusive presentation of the worldwide Z100 Radio Network.